just saw the most beautiful sunset ever.
I think on the outside it looks so yummy.
Or maybe we should like do this and then do a ranking in the end. We're gonna explore Lisbon, so come with us. Welcome to Lisbon, a city of old world charm, stunning architecture and mouth-watering cuisine. In this 3-day itinerary, we will explore Lisbon's highlights, visit enchanting Sintra and enjoy unforgettable sunsets. As soon as we landed in Lisbon, we took an Uber to our hotel Quinta Colina by Shiadu, located in the heart of Lisbon. Our room was cozy with a beautiful terrace view. After we checked in, we kicked off our trip at a viewpoint offering one of the most breathtaking vistas of Lisbon. It was not too crowded, probably because we were visiting Lisbon in December, which made it the perfect spot to soak in the city's beauty. Come here just before sunset for a magical experience. At this place called Miradoro das Corrido Monte. This was such a beautiful experience. The sunset was just phenomenal. It was unreal.
Yeah, this is like one of the most famous scenic points over here to catch the sunset. Although it's a little windy and chilly over here, but definitely a must-see spot. After the sunset, we headed to Alfama district to immerse ourselves in Lisbon's culture at Corrido. Savor authentic Portuguese dishes while listening to Fado, the soul-stirring traditional music of Portugal. Seafood lovers, you can't really go wrong with the octopus here. Trust us, it's an unforgettable way to end your first day.
Now we're all set to start day 2. Super excited to go to Sintra. There's this palace which is super beautiful, and there's also this beautiful well and a Moorish castle that I'm really excited to see. I think it's going to be an entire day filled with walking around because hey, we're in Lisbon after all.
We boarded our train from the Rossio train station, a short walk from our hotel. Grab the Navigante card for easy zapping across Lisbon's public transport.
It was so easy to get the card. You can just get it from the train station direct. This is what the card looks like, and you can actually get it recharged. So we decided to get it recharged only for €5, but if we need more, we can always get more money.
Just 40 minutes from Lisbon, Sintra is a magical town known for its fairytale palaces, lush gardens, historical castles, and mysterious estates. On arrival, we got ourselves the 24-hour bus ticket to take us to all the major attractions in the city. If you plan on visiting a couple of attractions here, this is the best way to get around the city. We started our morning at Quinta de Regaleira, a magical estate with mystical gardens and a famous initiation well. It's a mix of adventure, beauty, and mystery all in one place.
What I really like about this place is that it gives a lot of mystic vibes. So this place is filled with a lot of stairwells and passageways, which looks like caves within the garden. And from here you could also see the Moorish castle.
After exploring Quinta de Regaleira, we recharged ourselves with lunch at one of Sintra's charming local cafes called Mia Pipa, serving some delectable sandwiches and wraps in a lovely outdoor setting. We browsed through some of the souvenir shops and then walked down towards the city center to soak in the vibes and have the much awaited pastel de nata. This is our first pasta del nata that we're having in Portugal. So, although I thought it would be the other one, like the most famous one, but let's see how this one is. Not bad.
How much would you rate this out of 5?
I think I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. And now it's time to burn some calories as we head to the Moorish castle. This castle was built between the 8th and 9th century by the Moors to protect the region and oversee Sintra's fertile lands. Alright, so we are finally here at Moorish castle. I think the views from the top are absolutely mesmerizing. We can't believe we are at such a height and we can literally see the entire Sintra, Lisbon, and there's like such beautiful views. We can even see the ocean from here.
Next, we made our way to the enchanting Pena Palace, just a 10 to 15 minute walk from the Moorish castle. With its vibrant colors and whimsical design, it felt like stepping straight into a Disney fairy tale.
Finally here at Pena Palace. We're really excited to get some pictures clicked. We're not gonna go inside, but as we did our research and we got to know that it's not as good from the inside.
The Pena Palace is the stuff of fairy tales, built in the 19th century by King Ferdinand II. This wasn't just a palace, it was his romantic vision brought to life, a whimsical retreat for the Portuguese royal family. Perched high on a hill, the site was once a quiet monastery, but after the devastating 1755 earthquake, Ferdinand transformed it into a colorful masterpiece, blending Gothic, Renaissance, and Portugal's unique Manueline style. It's not just a palace, it's a celebration of art, nature, and imagination, standing proudly as one of Portugal's most iconic landmarks today.
So we just got done with Pena Palace and it's been such a beautiful experience. We were lucky enough to catch the sunset today, and we would highly recommend that you find a time slot, when the sun is setting, and it would be definitely a great experience for all of you.
Back in Lisbon, it was quite a festive vibe due to Christmas. We met with a friend and decided to try the very famous Ginjinha, a traditional Portuguese liquor made from brandy and sour cherries. This tiny shop, opened since 1840, serves up the most iconic version, made with sour cherries, sugar, and cinnamon. For just a couple of euros, grab a shot. Ask for it comme hélas if you want cherries at the bottom. It's sweet, strong, and a true taste of Lisbon's history. We ended our second day at Veganapati, a highly rated vegan restaurant near Rossio Station.
Alright guys, it's day 3 here in Lisbon and I'm really excited for today. It's going to be a very action-packed day filled with a lot of history. So we're going to begin our day on the iconic Tram 28. And after Tram 28, we will see the world's oldest bookstore.
The iconic Tram 28 started operating in 1914. It connects almost all of Lisbon's historic neighborhoods, winding through narrow streets, steep hills, and charming districts like Graça, Alfama, and Baixa. We've heard it gets really packed during the summers, but in winter it was surprisingly quiet and easy to hop on. This is actually iconic. The best way to see what all Lisbon has to offer. Just get on this tram and enjoy the beautiful views. For next stop, we'd been wanting to visit Bertrand, the world's oldest bookstore established in 1732, which is also recognized by Guinness World Records. It's a book lover's dream with cozy shelves and a cafe at the end. Most books are in Portuguese, but there's a small English section. I ended up picking up a Korean English book. Ironically, it's about a bookstore in Seoul. And don't forget to get a stamp as proof that you bought it here. Next up, we had the much-awaited walking tour of Lisbon, in which we unraveled 3,000 years of history in just a few hours. We truly believe walking tours are the best way to explore a city, and if your itinerary permits, we would recommend doing this first thing on the list. We also got very lucky as it was a very small group because of off-peak season. We began at the Monument to the Restorers, a tribute to Portugal's independence, and learned more about the history of cobbled streets of Lisbon. Next, we stopped at Rossio train station, where we took the train to Sintra a day prior and learned more about its history. We will not be discussing these things in detail, as we think it's best if you take these walking tours and learn on the spot. We also stopped at the Ginjinha place for a quick Ginjinha break and then visited the São Domingos Church, where we recounted the tragic Lisbon massacre of 1506. After that, we started walking uphill. Our guide actually recommended skipping the lift, calling it a bit of a tourist gimmick, and instead took us on a different route. As we continued up, we reached the Carmo convent, where the haunting Gothic ruins tell the story of Lisbon's resilience. From there, we got stunning views of São Jorge Castle from the Santa Justa elevator. So we went up the elevator without actually taking the elevator. Towards the end of the tour, we learnt about the devastating 1755 Lisbon earthquake and the peaceful Carnation Revolution of 1974, which ended decades of dictatorship. The tour concluded at the magnificent Praça do Comércio, where you learn the history behind the triumphal Rua Augusta Arch. The tour that we booked was Take Free Tours, and our tour guide's name was Belen. I would highly recommend booking with them. And of course, with so much walking, we built an appetite and moved towards our next location. For lunch, we made our way to Time Out Market. Now, some people call it a tourist trap, but honestly, we found it a great option if you're not sure what to eat or if you have dietary restrictions and want to explore different options. It's a lively food hall with a mix of traditional Portuguese dishes and modern twists on classic flavors, perfect for trying a little bit of everything. I grabbed vegetarian mozzarella bites and gnocchi from Liberta Pasta, and of course, Rohan had to try the codfish from Miguel Castro e Silva.
Ravioli bites and really crispy and filled with cheese. And this is a spicy sauce to go along with it.
We are now trying another pastel danata, this time at Time Out Market from Mantejaria.
So we've heard this is actually the most delicious pastel de nata in Lisbon. So there's only one way to find both.
It's actually really good. I would say it's better than the one we tried in Sintra. I can feel more of the custard in this one. Your turn.
Yeah, I really like it. It's definitely better than the one yesterday.
How much would you rate this out of 5?
4?
I think it's a solid 4 for me as well.
After 2 days of watching the stunning sunsets, we just couldn't get enough. So we decided to take it up a notch and went on a sunset sailing boat tour along the Tagus River. And let me tell you, it was hands down the most memorable experience we had in Lisbon. You can find the link to the boat ride in the description below. The boat was stocked with green wine, and as we sailed, the views were absolutely mesmerizing. We watched the city's skyline light up with iconic landmarks like the 25th of April Bridge, Praça de Comércio, Christ the King statue, Monument of the Discoveries, and Belém Tower in the distance. For 2 hours, we soaked in the last Lisbon sunset, and in that moment, we just knew Lisbon would always call us back. We'll be coming back to this beautiful city, no doubt about it. Before calling it a day, we rushed to Pastéis de Belém, the OG of all custard tarts. This is the exact place where these delicious custard tarts were invented back in 1837. We saved this one for the last because they are not situated in central Lisbon.
Alright, so we are finally here at Pastéis de Belém, the place which I have been wanting to come for so long. This place has thousands of reviews. This is the OG of pastel de nata, and it's like they make about 20,000 or maybe more custards every day. So I'm really stoked to try this one out. It's really good.
We have a winner.
And that's the wrap for Lisbon. We headed back to our hotel to get ready for a 5-day road trip to the south of Portugal. The next day, we drove to Algarve, and honestly, we were completely in awe of everything it had to offer. We'll be sharing a detailed Algarve itinerary soon, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified. Also, let us know in the comments below, where should we travel next? Until next time.